Hello people, it is I, 3Godzilla 3, the Master of Sonic, here with you today with a Let's Play of the original Spyro the Dragon for the PlayStation 1. Made by Insomniac Games in 1998, and man oh man, I've been waiting to do a Let's Play of this game for the longest time, for all three games really, and now I finally get the chance to do it, and it's incredible. I can't wait, it's going to be awesome. So yeah, this is Spyro the Dragon. Awesome game, incredible game. If you have not played this franchise yet, I definitely recommend you do so. The Reignited Trilogy comes out now November 13th instead of September 21st. That should be interesting. But before we even get started with the adventure, let's start with this awesome cutscene, which in my opinion is one of the best introductories to any game.
Okay, rolling.
Oh, it's been peaceful here in the Five Worlds, or is it six? For a Dragon's Age. We now have 12,000 treasure, or is it 14,000? What about this Ganasty Gnork character? Now, I understand he's found a magic spell to turn gems into warriors for his cause.
I'll take that question. Nasty Nork is a simple creature.
Simple.
He has been contained in a remote world and is no threat to the Dragon Kingdom. No threat! Besides, he is ugly. That does it!
Looks like I've got some things to do.
So all the dragons have been crystallized except Spyro. Why? Probably because he's mad tiny. That's the only reason I can think of. Right from the get-go, we activate the camera to active mode, and we free our first dragon.
Thank you for releasing me, Spyro. Free 10 dragons in the Artisan world. Then find the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Nork? I'm going after him.
Find dragons first. That's all I can tell you.
One thing I'll certainly miss in the Reignited Trilogy is that awesome sound effect when you rescue a dragon. It's so good. But anyway guys, this is Spyro the Dragon. We're now in the Artisan's homeworld, the first homeworld of the entire game. This will be a 100% walkthrough, 100% Let's Play, so expect me to get pretty much everything. 120% is what this game, the highest percentage of this game is 120. So we're going to get all the gems, all the dragon eggs, all the dragons, and that's all the collectibles we have in this game. So right from the get-go, you saw that I switched the camera from passive to active. Basically what that means is it allows me to really rotate the camera at a much faster pace. I always loved the concept of using L2 and R2 to change the camera around. I'm glad they brought that back, by the way. But yeah, it's a good method.
Where's Nasty Nork? I'll torch him.
Keep your horns on, Spyro! You have much to learn first. Do you know what the dragonfly following you is doing? His name is Sparks, and he's helping and protecting you. Keep an eye on him and see what I mean.
But yeah, so normally in video games the camera is mapped to the right analog stick and for you to switch around the camera and stuff. In this game, or the original 3 Spyro games, the camera was mapped to the L2 and R2 buttons. And to be honest with you guys, I've been so used to that, to the point where in the Reignited Trilogy, if they didn't have that, I'd be having a little bit of trouble. But thankfully they're actually bringing that back in the new game, so that's exciting. Yeah, that's just to cater to the classic fans, and man, I'm just... That's another thing, guys. The fact that that game has been delayed to November 13th is, dear God, man. Like, we were so close. But in any case, we have this Let's Play to go through, all 3 games, and it's still going to be awesome.
Cool Flash, do that again.
The Artisan's boss is through a portal in the Dragon Mouth, but you are not yet ready, Spyro. First you must complete one of the other Artisan lands.
That dragon head in the Reignited Trilogy, so good. Awesome job with that. That's very nostalgic for me.
Hey, Spyro! Press the jump button twice to glide. And don't be afraid.
Afraid? Of what?
Falling from high mountain peaks? Plummeting into prehistoric glaciers?
Oh, that.
I have to keep track of when all the dragons are released, because during those moments I'll be silent just so you guys can hear the dialogue and stuff. Yeah, like I was saying, Spyro the Dragon, the first one, I never actually got to play until I was like, man, I don't even know. I started with the Year of the Dragon first, and then Ripto's Rage. Spyro 1, I've never owned this game. I never got to own this game until about 3 or so years ago, and that's when I completely beat it for the first time. As a kid, I would only get a chance to play it at like my aunt's house, because they had a copy of the game and they had a PlayStation, but we would rarely go to that place. But every time I did, oh man, every single time I would ask them, it's like, guys, I need to play Spyro. Like I need to go to that room to play Spyro. And what would suck about that is I would have to wait until either everybody was woken up or everyone was home in order for me to go into that room just to play this game. But man, I had so much memories with this game. This game is just incredible. Mostly from the first 2 home worlds, because I don't think I ever got past, I think, Magic Crafters when I was a kid, when I first got this game. But yeah, it wasn't until 2 or 3 years ago when I finally got a chance to actually play the game and own it, and it's just awesome. So we got 100 gems. We completed the Artisan's home world. We got everything we need. So now we're going to start with Dark Hollow as our first level. I know most people like to start off with either Stone Hill or like, or well, really anything else. But I love Dark Hollow, and it's a very short stage. Another fantastic thing about this game is the soundtrack. I'm telling you guys, in my honest opinion, Spyro 1 has the best soundtrack in the entire series. It's just so good, man. Stuart Copeland he did such a stellar job, man. It's just incredible, and I don't know, guys. I'm just so glad that the original soundtrack was brought back in the Reignited trilogy. That's super exciting. That's super awesome. If I say super a lot, I apologize, by the way. It's just a habit.
Oh, it's you! I wasn't sure if you'd escape those annoying little creatures. Of course, they wouldn't bother me, but here's a hint. Metal armor is fireproof, but a charge attack will take care of them.
If you're wondering whether or not I'm playing this live or pre-recorded, this is all pre-recorded gameplay. I've recorded footage for the first 2 games already. That's just a decision I made on my part. It probably would have been more fun to do a live Let's Play instead. But I figured if it was a live Let's Play, then like if I were to keep uploading parts and then something were to like get lost, there would be nowhere to recover from that, and yeah, so I didn't want it to deal with any issues like that. So what you see is what you get. But yeah, Dark Hollow's super easy level. It's very short, very straightforward. There's really only one section that you might miss on your first playthrough, which is the section on the right there that you have to glide to. But aside from that, there's really not much. These big Nork enemies are they're funny. They try to taunt you, which is great. The only way to kill them is to flame them from the back. That's a mechanic for all 3 Spyro games, is that if there's a big enemy, you can only flame them. If it's small, you have to you can do either flame or charge. And if they have shields, you have to charge and things like that. But since this enemy is both big and wearing a shield, you have to flame the backside, which is a great concept.
Psst, Spyro, want to know a secret? Use the triangle button when you want to zoom in and look around. Oh, your secret's safe with me.
That is by far one of my favorite dragons in the entire game, just because of how ridiculous it sounds. It's like, psst, hey Spyro, wanna know a secret? If you press the triangle button, you can look around with the camera. And I'm sitting here like, oh yeah, wow, that's... I had no idea. The developers probably thought, like, man, this option is pretty obscure, we should let them know how to use it. But, yeah, yeah, man. So far for the Reignited trilogy, we haven't really gotten much in terms of this level. We've gotten like concept art of that room that we just got out of, but really that's, I mean, I think that's all we have. Plus, in the trailer of the first trailer of the game, they showed like a very small, few seconds of Dark Hollow. But in terms of Reignited trilogy, that's really all we have so far. We also have some Dark Hollow music from the game, but I don't believe that's a finished product. It plays when you download the theme on the PlayStation Store for Spyro. They also have one for Sunny Flight, which is also awesome. But yeah, it plays the music in the background. It sounds good, it sounds alright. But I just really hope that now that the game has been pushed back, that they're going to be working on a lot of those things, especially those kinds of aspects. And I just flamed that guy from the back. I don't know how in the world I did that. But...
Big enemies like this Gnorc with the club cannot be charged, but a quick flame, that should defeat them.
Yeah, so that dragon just explained the concept of basically the big and small Gnorcs. But yeah, so we got all gems, all dragons. This level is now complete. Let's head back home. So one interesting thing to note about the first game is that all the homeworlds have enemies in them. What's interesting about that is that no other Spyro game has that. This is the only Spyro game that has enemies in the homeworld. In the first homeworld, there's only two kinds of enemies, and they don't hurt you in any way, but you know. It's a concept that they just never brought back for some reason. One thing I hope that they bring back is that loop that Spyro does when he enters the stage. I just think that's so cool and epic, especially with the music going on. It's awesome, man.
Welcome to Town Square, Spyro. Begin exploring by gliding to that area with the bulls. Use the L2 and R2 buttons to get a good look.
Some of you might be wondering, Waldy, why in the world haven't you done Stone Hill yet? Like every other Let's Play I've seen of this game, Stone Hill's done, at least in the first part. That's because, in my honest opinion, I think in terms of the first 5 levels in this game, Stone Hill's probably the longest one. Which requires more time in the part. And I'm trying my best to keep each of these parts at least a minimum of 20 minutes, probably longer. But yeah, that's the main reason I'm going in this order.
Thanks, Spyro. I had the worst itch on the tip of my wing. Oh, did you know that you get your longest glides by pressing X at the very top of your jump?
In terms of the Reignited trilogy, what we've gotten so far for Town Square is this little section here with the Flag Keeper and the bull. It's like a little, it's like a small few seconds of footage of just that, and it looks incredible, by the way. We also got a short snippet of this little section here too. But yeah, Town Square has been very limited so far in terms of what we've been shown. But yeah, these are the thieves, which in this game are pretty easy to get, to be honest. The thieves don't really speed up until like the second game, but the third game, they're not in the second game. Spoiler alert. But yeah, in the first game they're pretty easy because they don't immediately start running until like you're very close to them, at least from what I've seen. So you can literally just start charging at them and then flame them immediately before they get a head start. But aside from that, Town Square, it's also short, very short level. I think Dark Hollow might be shorter, I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty simple level. All the levels in the first homeworld are pretty easy, but yeah, it's just to get into the flow of things.
Thank you for releasing me.
You would think that a dragon with the name Thor would have a more interesting dialogue, but that's all we got. Yeah. This level was awesome. As a kid, I would really get lost here for whatever reason, because I guess I just didn't know how to glide across that open pit in the beginning. And there's also that other section with the... You have to glide to the right. Spyro 1's chock full of sections like that, in which they're pretty obscure. You really wouldn't know about that unless you, like, really looked for it. But yeah, it's just another level to this challenge in the game.
Spyro, did you see a man dressed in blue running around here? He's a thief, and he's stolen a dragon egg! You've got to track him down and get that egg! Run! Run! I'm getting a little winded.
Oh, man. Oh, man. In my honest opinion, guys, that's the best dragon in the entire game. Like, the best dialogue, best everything, man. That's my favorite dragon, for those who are curious. But we did it. We got all 200 gems. We got all the dragon eggs, the dragons. And we finished Town Square. Let's head back home. And in terms of this part, I believe that's all we have in terms of this part. So we finished Dark Hollow, Town Square, and the Artisan's Homeworld. So the next part, we'll be entering Stone Hills. See you then. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video on my channel. If you're a Christian watching this and are at all interested in finding a Christian YouTube channel, make sure to check out my other channel known as Waldy Santos, where I'll be covering biblical, theological, and spiritual topics. Thank you guys once again, and as always, God bless you.